Thank you so much for joining us. We are broadcasting live from the United Center as our coverage of the DNC continues. I'm so thrilled to continue having John Iadarola, the host of the Damage Report on the Young Turks Network. Check it out on YouTube. Joining us is Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. We are so thrilled to have you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And, of course, were you at the event last night? Were you in the arena with the speakers and the amazing night we had?
It was fantastic.
Wasn't it, though?
It was absolutely great. All the speakers were great, but I was so happy to see my friend who's now going to be the vice president of the United States, because Tim and I served together in the House of Representatives. I have lots of family in his state. And then I met his wife today.
You did?
Oh, she
That's
was
lovely.
so fabulous. She's, they're a good batch, and we saw him with his kids and his son getting a little teary.
Mm-hmm.
It's
wonderful.
a family. It's a regular family. It's a regular family.
Well, and to your point about Governor Walz and being part of your family as well, serving in Congress, we have with Sergeant Aquilino. Did I say that right? Sergeant Aquilino Gonell, who was in service to our country on January 6th as Capitol Police. And I know that so many of us were watching as the attack was unfolding, worried for the safety of the people who represent us and for the democracy that we have worked so hard to preserve, and that your life was that you were trying to save everybody. How did it feel to be on that stage? You spoke last night. How did it feel on that stage last night to know how much we support you and what your sacrifice meant to all of us?
Thanks for having me back.
Of course.
Well, to me, it was kind of like a mixed emotions. In one hand, I saw the video that they montage that they put before I went up, and I was the backstage, and that was kind of like, here I am back on January 6th, reliving that moment. And for a moment I began to get emotional, and I had to ask for a tissue backstage, and kind of like being brave enough to step out, especially after Benny Thompson finished his speech. It was my turn, and then I walked out, and here I am with almost crying.
Yeah.
And I retained that inside me, trying to hold it back, because I didn't want to be that emotional on live TV, where so many people were watching me, looking at me, all eyes on me, not only here in the stadium, but across the country, across the world. And then the type of standing ovation that I received. My intention were not to ever seek the limelight. Had it not been because of January 6th, nothing of this would have happened. Nothing of me being here. I shouldn't be here for this. But the mere fact that it did happen, the fact that Republicans had abandoned the truth, abandoned reality, and made that choice for me to step forward. Because if they had our back, I wouldn't be here. They say that they back the police, they back the blue, the law and order, the rule of law, except for Capitol Police. They call us traitors. Today there's a report that supposedly Donald Trump wants to have a gala at Mar-a-Lago for January 6ers.
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine having a gala for the January 6th rioters?
But he claimed that he supported the police.
Right.
And when he refers to Capitol Police, he refers us as the thugs,
right?
As somebody with a P word. I don't know if I could say it.
No.
Grabbing by that, what
the
that
girl
plan.
parts, I guess. Yeah.
So don't tell me you support the police if you don't support Capitol Police, because you sympathize with what they were doing on January 6th.
Right.
And then call us traitor. And then you offer pardons for those people who assaulted me. So it was very emotional for me. What made it worth last night was that the people gave me the time to listen a little bit. I tried to encompass a lot of things as a veteran,
right?
As a police officer, as an immigrant, because the Republican portray us, the immigrant, as somebody who come here and take over and damage everything. We are here to create chaos. And we're not. Look at the contribution that I did. If you want to learn a little more about me, go to my website. I'm aquilinogonell.com. You'll find a lot of information about me, about my sacrifices, about January 6th. There's a video of me for almost half an hour of what I did, which is about 80% what I did on January 6th. There's things that are still left out, but it shows that what I did and what I had done for this country, both as a military person, as an immigrant, as a police officer as well.
And we, in the work that we're doing to elect Vice President Harris and Governor Walz, Congresswoman Schakowsky, I know that that's why
I just want to say thank you.
Absolutely.
You know, I was in Washington that day. Thank God that you were there. Thank God you survived that. And there are still people who are saying, oh, it was just a walk in the park that day. People died that day.
Yep.
And you sacrificed your life. You never have to prove yourself. We know what you did. And it's just remarkable to me. And, of course, he wants to pardon all the people. Donald Trump wants to pardon those people and say it was okay. And that's part of what we have to remember as this election is coming up. And you know what? The change in tone since this convention, where it's positive, it's helpful. People are actually happy right now that there are going to be changes. Never again.
Never again.
Never again.
Because we're not going back. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, and in terms of immigrants, he says he's going to wants to deport.
Yep. Mass deportation.
Oh, mass deportation.
Yep.
In this country.
So that means, is he going to deport his wife because she's an immigrant?
How did she even get here? I want to know what kind of paper she had and how he made that happen.
Anchor baby, you know?
You know, I know.
But you know what I mean? You know, in reality, look, I did what I did on January 6th, not because I wanted the limelight, not because I was trying to get a medal, like some people say. Look, on January 6th, we were fighting for our lives. I wasn't even thinking about democracy. All I cared was I would do my job. And I swore enough to protect the building, the Capitol, the elected official, everybody who worked there. That's what I was protecting that day, especially my colleagues, because we were literally waiting for reinforcement. And that guy, the guy sitting at the White House, watching
watching television,
every single event of January 6th unfold on live TV, 16 blocks away, watching it in broad daylight. But meanwhile, the Republican wants to investigate Benghazi 5,000 miles away, but they don't want to investigate January 6th, 16 blocks away from the White House. On something that their own president did for the country, trying to subvert the transfer of power.
Right.
And people did things on his behalf, to attack a branch of his own government, to attack his own vice president for not doing what he wanted him to do.
Yep. We're talking to Sergeant Aquilino Gonell, and he's a January 6th hero and survivor, and Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, who is doing a lot, really spearheading a movement with Operation Swing State in order to make sure that this does not happen again, that this never happens again. Committeewoman Maggie O'Keefe reached out to me to tell me how much hard work you're doing. Tell us a little bit about that so that we do make sure we preserve our democracy and avoid another January 6th.
You know, when this wonderful convention ends, the work really begins. And every single person can really get involved. Yes, OperationSwingState.com is something we're organizing in Illinois because we have swing states. That is, they could go either way. And so we're recruiting people to go and help in Wisconsin and in Michigan and knock on doors and change it so that we don't have to worry about this, the threats that are there. And we can change people's lives in a positive way and change the whole feeling in this country. I feel it already right now that we are really going to be able to... Ordinary people are going to be able to see concrete improvements in their lives. I'm for the trifecta, the House, the Senate, and the White House.
Yes.
Yeah.
and go ahead.
And that's the only way that we could I guess, stop what was coming. What a lot of people fear, that Donald Trump, a second term of him, would be detrimental not only for the country but for everybody in general, because his platform has been revenge and retribution. I'm going to be a dictator. And look, we don't have to imagine anymore of what he's thinking, what his intentions are. He's telling us.
Yep.
Not once, multiple times. And if it were me, or if you were me, you think I'm going to support somebody who send a mob to try to upend our democracy? Somebody who sent a mob to try to kill me and my colleagues at the Capitol? No.
Came for the wrong guy.
Yeah. So that's why one of the reasons why I'm supporting Kamala Harris. I think she's a decent person. I may not agree with all her policies, but policy differences, we have lived through those and survived them in the past. A second term for Donald Trump, we're not going to survive it. Look,
no.
I thought the Supreme Court would say that, subverting our democracy, trying to overthrow our democracy, is not part of an official act of a president.
That's right.
And look what they did.
Yep.
Look at what they did. So us, the population, the voters, we are the one who has the power to stop him and put it away for once and for all. I do want to let you know about my book, American Shield.
Yes.
Is available in Spanish and English, both in audio and text. If you want to learn a little more about me, my heritage, how I am, how I came to be, the type of things that I had done for this country, 17 years as a police officer, 8 as a military. I deployed to Iraq. I assimilated. Look.
Yeah, like this. Right.
It's a lot of things to cover.
It's the American, but it's what they say is the American dream is to come here
and the type of immigrant that they want.
And to join the military, and it's for some it's a path to citizenship.
But let me ask you this: how many elected officials from the Republican side have come and sat down with me to ask me about what I had done?
Well, I just want to say I'm also a first-generation American in this country. I don't think my parents or grandparents really would be so proud that I could be in the Congress of the United States of America. We are a nation of immigrants, but we can do
so much.
So much. I want to thank you both for your service, because I know that you have tight schedules. I see Congresswoman Schakowsky, your folks are like, yeah, it's a good time to go. It's operationswingstates.org, is that right?
That's right. .com.
Thank you. I want to make
People
sure.
can go, and, if you live in a swing state, if you live in a safe state,
yes,
safe state where Democrats can win, if you can travel nearby and knock on doors. This is not rocket science.
No.
Knock on doors. Ask people to get out to vote. If our people who want a change all voted, we'd always win. So we have to make sure we get them out.
Excellent. I want to thank you both for your service. And I also want to remind folks, for Sergeant Aquilino Gonell, there's also a GoFundMe account that you can also contribute to. So search for Aquilino Gonell. That's AQUILINO GONELL. And support the work that he's doing to get the word out in this very important election. And we thank you both for your service and your time. I know it's a tight schedule. Enjoy the evening. It's time to celebrate and then get to work.
It's going to be fabulous. And then we get to work.